Good night, everyone doing tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma Jill Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. And the topic going to be Jezebel, bent on evil. And you know, that's Ahab wife. She will be killed, because she done did so much. She done did so much. And she was the one that turned Ahab into worshiping other gods and all the Israelites. So it's a story about Jezebel, who was an evil woman who was bent on evil, and she was married to King Ahab, and he was the king over Israel. Now, now she persuaded him and introduced him to worshiping Baal, a god, other gods that they created. Most prophet was killed by her command. They had Israel serving other gods that was not with God. That's why God had Elijah to step in and expose that false god. So that's why Elijah had came in and stepped in, and he was exposing them of that false god. They couldn't lit the fire, but having the Father put fire set fire without a match. So Jezebel worshipped the wrong God and the wrong priority and used any methods that she needed to have her way. She lived for power. Some people live for power and they use their power for evil instead of good, you know, and always had another evil scene in her heart. So Ahab totally disregards the law when he married such a woman and began to worship other gods. Now he worshiped God. He is the king over the Israelite. And he done married a woman that do all these things that turn him out and the Israelite. To Ahab is the king over Israel, but Jezebel quickly promote Babylon to worship throughout Israel. So she persuade all them to worship other gods that she created. Jezebel macerates the prophet of the Lord that who oppose her. Jezebel ordered to have all the prophets to be killed, and she threatened to kill Elijah in revenge of his victory on Mount Carmel. Now, Elijah went up, God had sent Elijah over there, because he heard that the Israelite is worshiping other gods. So God wasn't having that, especially the Israelite. They already know better, you know. And so he sent Elijah over there, to preach to them. But he like Jesus, he always had like to demonstrate his preaching, so he demonstrate, what they're not supposed to be doing. He trying to let them know, if you serving a God, if you serving a God, let your God put fire, set fire without a match, and so they could not do it. And Elijah mocking them and like, is your God asleep? So he knows his heavenly Father can put fire in without a match. So Jezebel, she was bent on evil. And this story will be coming from 2 King chapter 9, verse 30 to 37. Now Jezebel she lost her husband Ahab. You remember yesterday I put out God put the lion's spirit in 400 prophets, for Ahab to believe them and not believe Monica, and so he went out there to war, and that's how he lost his life. And because God came after him because he threatened Elijah, threatened to kill Elijah. So not only she lost her husband Ahab, she lost her two sons also. So now Judah, he was the one who killed both of Jezebel's two sons. So the first one, now Judah went. After he killed her two sons, then he went to Jerry, you know, to tell him what happened. So Jezebel, she heard, about it. Then she started putting makeup on. So I don't know why she's, just started putting makeup on. and then after she put the makeup on, then she stood by the window. So second, now Jezebel know that he killed both of her sons. She asked, "Have you come in peace?" So she know he killed both of her sons, so that's why she asked him, "Have you come in peace?" So he killed. So Judas killed Jezebel's two sons. Now he killed the two sons for the throne. Ahab dead. And she's still alive. The two sons were still alive. So he wants the throne because both of them was done evil. Ahab and Jezebel, both of them was done evil. And you remember Jude is the one that God had Elijah to anoint to help him. Remember, he needs the help. So he wait for God. So he tearing all this false gods and stuff down. He tearing all this stuff down. To keep them from doing all that. He rather take the throne. So he killed both of the sons so he could take the throne. From Ahab family. And destroyed all the evil influence that there was there. Now remember, Jezebel was worshiping other gods, and so he trying to tear all that stuff down. Because he works under God. God the one has had Elijah to pick him because Elijah needed help. So he looked it up at the window and called out, "Who is on my side?" You know, two or three look up at him at the window. So remember, she put makeup on, first, and Jezebel looked down from her window and she taunted Judah, the one who had overthrown and killed her son. So he ordered to throw her out the window, and you remember he was her servant. He was her servant. But he rebelled against her. And they wanted to throw her out the window. So the people, the crowd was yelling, "Throw her down, throw her down." They was yelling, because she did people so much wrong. So when she by that window and they was trying to throw her out, they said throw her out. So they threw her down, and some of her blood scattered, scattered all on the wall in the hearses and as they trumpet her underfoot. So it was discovered that Elijah had foretold the dogs had eaten most of her body, and we see that Elijah prophesied her death. He said the dogs and everything was gonna eat her body. They ain't gonna have nothing left for to bury her. So Jury went ate drunk, and he stated that he took care of that cursed woman. Now he went after he took care of the sons, and then he threw her out the window. He said I done took care of that cursed woman. And now he telling them to go bury her. But they wait days and weeks later. So when that time came, her final destination is a curse by a prophet, thrown from a palace window. you know. So when they went out to bury her, he told them, he said, y'all go bury her. I got rid of that cursed woman. So when they went to go bury her, there was nothing but her skull, her feet, and her hands. So Jezebel was thrown out the window where the hearses were stepping all over her, and she was eaten by dogs. So she was down there for a long time, for days and weeks. So that was nothing. She was bent on evil and power. She used her power, to have things her way. So when Jezebel, all the people were standing, so why is she out there laying on the ground? That's the same people saying, throw her down. They all standing around her, just watching her, because they know she did so much evil. She did them wrong. She commands so many people to be dead. So he told them to go bury her. So they get there, So all she had was a scar, the feet, and her hands. So now we see why there was nothing to bury. The Lord spoke to servant Elijah, Tezbite, bite, on a pile of the ground at Jezebel dogs, which was Jezebel flesh. Now Elijah already prophesied that, that the dogs were gonna eat her up. So Jezebel was the one who placed an order to kill all the prophets using her power. So now Jezebel dog is at her up and the hearses ran over her. So now the dogs eating her up. She just laying down there, everybody just standing around watching her. The dogs eating her up. And then the hearses just stepping all over her. So that's why her body deteriorates. Then had nothing to bury her with. So they didn't want her body to be identified, so that, identified to know that's her. That's why they kept the body out there for so long. Had the hearses, walking all over. That's why they did what they did because they don't want her body to be identified. They don't want the body to be identified. That's her. So this woman was bent on evil. She had so many people and prophet killed, and she used her power to have her way. One, we see that Jezebel, a woman in power, but did not use it for good, but she used it for evil. She persuaded Ahab and Israel to worship other gods. Also Ahab, um, to be evil. She rubbed on him. She had him to be evil. And threatened Elijah would cause his life. Now we see Elijah was the one who prophesied her death, saying that she was going to die. Nothing left of her body. I mean, they're gonna tell her, he gonna tell them to go bury her body. So then there was none left to bury her. Jezebel was bent on evil. So we see whenever you're in power, don't let power overtake you. Don't let power overtake you because we see this. We had, a woman that was in charge, but she used her power to do anything that she wanted to do, but she didn't use it for good. She used it for bad, So if you're gonna have power, use it for good, don't use it for bad, you know. And she kept on coming up with evil sin, and using her power to get what she wants. So that's all the word I have for you tonight. Y'all have a blessed night and I see you on the next video.